Ryan, you're making a habit of this, coming into enemy territory and coming away with a win. This one took a little bit longer than the first one. How much fun was that out there?
That was amazing, man. I had a lot of fun. That was probably one of my funnest fights against a really tough guy. And it took everything I had to finish him. So, you know, he brought the best out of me, which I have to thank him for. That was awesome.
In terms of moving on from here, are you still wanting to travel and go into people's backyards and fight, or do you want to get back home and fight in front of your home fans?
You know what, man? Being home was weird. You know, being on my front lawn the day of the fight was just awkward, even though I don't think that really plays a role in the fight. But there's just something about the journey to get here. It's a far plane ride. You know, I'm out of my element. I'm out of my comfort zone. I think it just brings this fire out of me to want to, you know, come in and take the home guy out.
How much of a challenge is it for an American fighter flying all the way over here, dealing with the time change? We've had Aspen Lab was talking about the hotel beds were small, the bath was too small, and all this sort of stuff.
Man, it was all just, you know, trying to get through a lot of struggles, bumps in the road, and it was tough. Like she said, the beds were small. I don't think I slept 1 hour until last night. You know, it was the first night that I got a little bit of sleep. Going through the weight cut, it was all a battle. You know, I got here a little heavier than usual because the long plane ride, so I had to get through that, and I made the weight, and, you know, that was tough in itself, and then the fight was even tougher. So, but it all made me a better fighter, and I'm thankful for it.
You're calling for a top 15 guy next. Are there any particular people you think stylistically would bring even more out of you?
You know, I didn't want to speak too soon, but after this fight, I wanted to get one more in this year. You know, I said I want to be the Cowboy Cerrone of the bantamweight division, which is kind of cool. He's on the same card. You know, I'll be watching that fight. But I want to stay active. You know, if I'm healthy, I'm always training. I'm always a professional. Why not make money and do what I love and continue to fight? So I'm hoping they put me back in December. And I wouldn't mind John Lineker if he gets past the last guy I fought, Marlon Vera, who was a tough guy. But, you know, if Lineker comes out on top in that fight, I want to stick with that guy still.
What did you make of the atmosphere out there? Obviously fighting a Polish guy in Poland, they were against you, man.
Yeah, you know what though? They were really respectful fans. Like in Brazil, it was different. It felt a lot more hostile. They were really in my face. You know, after the fight, they didn't like the fact that I won, but it seemed like the fans were really, you know, supportive of the fact that a good fighter with a lot of heart went out there and finished their guy, who was a really tough guy too. So I think they really respected it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy few months for you.
Yeah.
Well, this year, indeed. So when you kind of look back on it and you reflect on it, is it everything you thought it would be being here in the UFC?
Yeah, you know, the first fight and the second fight were so close together. This fight was a little bit spaced out from the last one. So, you know, after the first two, I kind of sat back, took it in, and I realized, you know, I'm 1-1. You know, my vision was to go up, up, up. And sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. So, you know, I took that loss. It was heartbreaking, but it motivated me to come in here and perform the best of my ability. I want to keep my job. I want to prove my worth, and I think I did that tonight.
After you won, you proceeded to do the chicken dance. Was that to Mike Perry?
Yeah, that was a little shout-out to Perry because, you know, kind of funny. Like, I saw he picked against me on Twitter earlier, and it was like, all right, I'm going to see him out there sitting front row, and I'm going to show him. So then it was funny after the second round. I think I heard him kind of cheering for me. So I was like, all right, I swayed him onto my side. So that was funny. You know, I was just making jokes with him.
Great stuff. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I don't know. What's the Polish beer to have? Is there a such thing or what? Everything. Yeah, I don't know, some pierogies, some beer, something good. You know, I'm gonna fuel up. You know, it's been a while since I had some bad food and had a little drink, you know, and relax. So I think I earned that tonight. It's gonna feel good for sure.
And you trained with Aljamain Sterling on the run to this fight. So how much did that help you?
Well, you know, I trained with him a few times. He kind of cross-trains at my gym's Long Island MMA now. Those guys been a great help. Thank you to those guys. And, you know, Aljo comes in sometimes. We train, but we're old training partners from back in the day when I first started. He first started. It was up in Ithaca, New York, upstate. And we had a lot of goes sparring. You know, he's one of the toughest guys I've ever trained with. So it was a really good experience going with him and seeing how far he went in the top 10. So that motivated me to keep up, you know, so it was really cool. But he's a great guy to train with.
Obviously, you did a great job with the research of your opponent, but was there anything that he surprised you with?
You know what? You could see what guys do. I don't do a lot of research. My coach Nabi over here, he did a lot of research. This guy came in with, you know, everything this guy throws, he was throwing at me in the gym, and I think it really helped me because I saw it happening in the fight playing out, you know, and you know, that was really good help. But no, I don't really study my opponent that much. You know, I just believe in myself. And no matter what happens in the fight, I believe I'm going to come out with victory. So I like to focus on myself and not overthink too much about my opponent and what he does.
Do you want to give a quick shout out to your team back there, your brother, I know?
Of course, I got my brother who's been there day one by my side. Selfless guy. He's always there, practice, everything. You know, no matter what I need, he's there. And there's my dad over there. came to Brazil, and now he's here in Poland. And this is Nabil Barakat, my striking coach, who puts in countless hours with me day in and day out. So thank you to those guys. Thank you, Long Island MMA and 50 G's. Got to pay the coaches, you know. Got to pay my dad rent. So thank you guys.
Congratulations.